Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning to some of you and good evening to some of you. I am really excited about today's Zoom call and event. This is called How to Have Your Best Year Ever. And I learned this from a gentleman named Jim Rohn, who was one of my mentors. And he had a program called How to Have Your Best Year Ever. And he said every year when you start the year, you should really focus on having a great year. So what I want to do today is to talk to you about getting the competitive edge. And I find that the top producers that I work with and have worked with, and I've trained over 5 million people now, and I've done over 5,000 presentations. I find that the great ones always go back to the fundamentals. So greatness comes to those who master and go back to the fundamentals. And the first thing we need to do is really think about getting ourselves organized for the year and really think about, how we want to do that. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is time blocking. So time blocking is taking a nice, whether you use a laptop, iPad, or a piece of paper, I do all three, and you time block your year. And what I like to do is put down the amount of money that I want to earn at the end of the year, and I break it down to daily amounts. So that way you know exactly what you need to do, how much activity, how many contacts, how many presentations, how many closed sales to get the results you want. So it's called year-end backward goals. So you want to start with the end of the year, December 31st, or whatever, and then work back 9 months, 6 months, 3 months, 1 month, weeks, days, hours, time block. And what I mean by time blocking, let's say it's my business, the health club business, when I had it. I would time block myself to get there early. I'd get there at 5:30 in the morning, right? And I'd work out. And then at 8 o'clock, from 8 o'clock to 9, I'd have a meeting with my staff. My team would then have to make phone calls from 9 until 11, because from 11 to 1 or 2, there'd be clients coming in and we'd have guests. And then from 2 to 4, they'd have to make another 100 calls. And then from 4 to 8, we would have appointments to tour the health clubs to sell memberships. Okay, so that would be some form of time blocking. Now, as a speaker, I have a different time blocking. So I get up in the morning, I have a strong, healthy breakfast with a cup of coffee. I go to the gym 7 days a week. After my workout, I come back, I get ready, and I meet with my team, and then I work with mentees. If I'm not working with mentees, I'm getting ready for an event. Like this week, I have 3 events to speak at. So I'm speaking at 3 events. So I'll be ready for that, besides working with my mentees. So I would then time block, like this morning, I reviewed the PowerPoint that we're using today, but I worked on it yesterday. I time blocked 2 hours to create this PowerPoint and to create this talk. And then now I'm ready for it. When I wake up, I just review it, I'm ready to go. So time blocking doesn't take a lot of time. It's just discipline. Discipline, discipline, discipline. I also want you to think about writing the 10 most important things you must do every day to get your business done, and write down your top 3 goals that you want to achieve every month. That's what I do. And then go further. Go 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, and work backwards. Now you know exactly what you need to do. Oh, but there's more. So let's get into it. I'm fired up. I don't know about you guys. 2023 is going to bring a lot of opportunities, and you got to be ready for them. Look, everybody's talking about there's a recession, this, baloney. There is so what? Top producers make money in any economy. So you just got to work on your gifts and work on your craft and be ready and be ready and ready and ready. And that's what I'm doing today. I'm getting you guys ready. So the questions I'm going to ask you is, I want you to commit 2023 to do at least 1 more thing a day. 1 more thing a day, every day. Just do 1 more thing, right? Just do 1 more thing a day. And that's going to help you make more money and get more done. The second thing I'm going to ask you to do is learn to complete cycles. If you have anything from last year that you need to get out of your way, get it done, complete it, and get that cycle out of your way, right? Tell you a quick little story. When I had my businesses, health clubs, I would ride with some of my people to corporate accounts. And I went with this person who's just starting out. They've been trained, ready to go. And I was wondering why they weren't closing. And so I rode with them and we went to an appointment, and I walked in and I sat with them and I said, Bill, what happened? He goes, I said, what do you mean? He said, well, you did everything great, but you forgot to ask for the order at the end. He goes, oh, well, I was going to come back the next time. I said, well, no, you ask for the order so you know what your objections are, or you can see what they need or what you need to overcome now or later. So I said, okay. So we went to the next appointment and he does his presentation, and he closes really hard, like really hard. And I said, when we got in the car, he didn't get the sale. I go, well, how'd I do it? I go, well, you went to the other end. You were too hard. However, I'm glad you completed cycles, because at least you know which way you're going, right? So now you can take that off your books. So I'm asking, anything you have from last year, complete cycles. Like I just launched my 26th book on that's out. It's on Amazon, and it's with Spencer Publishing out of the UK. My 26th book. Well, I got that done. I want to get it out. I want to promote it. I did it. I'm done. And now I can look forward to what I want to do this year, which is I'm looking to mentee a few people and help them either upskill their business, start a business, or exit their business. So that's what I'm working on right now. So here's what I want you to do. You got to be ready to go to the next level. What do you mean, Omar? The only way you can go to the next level is by becoming better. So my mentor, Brian Tracy, would say, your goal, son, they all call me son, is to become better every day, become better every day, become better every day, become better every day. So whatever you do, anything you're doing and you've done, I want you to do it better. Just do it better. That's how you're going to go to the next level. As you know, my dear friend, John Maxwell talks about the law of the lid. The law of the lid is from 1 to 10, what is your lid? 1 being at the bottom, 10 being at your best, right? Your goal is to live above the line, whatever your line is. They say that most of us work at 10%. Well, then your goal would be to work at 20%, 30%, 40%, right? So your thing, my job is I'm a lid knocker upper. That's what I want to do. So you need to raise your lid, raise your lid. And the only way you do that is becoming better. Next, you got to be ready to grow. Got to be the only time I've ever grown is when I'm uncomfortable. So if you're comfortable, do things that make you uncomfortable. Like maybe some of you need to prospect more. Maybe some of you need to network more. Maybe some of you need to, do things, the pandemic. I'm training banks right now, and the course is teaching bankers how to go out and talk to people, because the pandemic has got a lot of people that they don't want to go out and talk to people. So what they do is they send texts and emails, and that doesn't work as well as a person in front of you giving you customer service. So that's right now I'm training Truist. I'm on tour for them, and other companies like real estate companies, things like that. So if you want massive growth, get uncomfortable. Number 3, you got to be ready to make more money. I know that sounds crazy, but a lot of people don't think about making money. You got to think about making money. We are all entrepreneurs, no matter what you do. And the bottom line is, if you're mistaking activity with results, and to me, results is you got to have a paycheck. And I don't want that to happen to you, because if you don't, you're not going to make it. So activity is necessary, but don't mistake activity for results. Make sure that you're getting activity that equals results, that gives you a paycheck, okay? Now, I want you to focus. I want you to focus. I want you to focus on what you want. What you focus on expands. What you focus on expands. Focus on what you want, not what you don't want. If you focus on what you don't want, it will come to you. Focus on what you want. Bob Proctor, one of my mentors, taught me the law of attraction, right? The secret, right? The law of attraction. Earl Nightingale used to say, you become what you think about most. You become what you think about most. He'd say, thoughts are things. You become what you think about most. Plant seeds of greatness in your mind, not poison, not weeds. So make sure you're processing positive thoughts. Now, is it possible to have a full positive day? No, I'm pretty good at this, and I have not been able to do it. There's always negative stuff, but don't worry about it. The key is not what you get, it's what you do with what you get, right? That's the answer. Not what you get, it's what you do with what you get. So what I teach you is the techniques, and most of you have my libraries. You should be listening to Get Motivated, the greatest gift, all right? All these different things that I gave you, these audios. It's very important. You got to feed your mind every day. Whatever you do, feed your mind positive, 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 okay? Next, focus on self-mastery. Focus on the 6 inches between your ears. Focus on self-mastery. Self-mastery is self-esteem, self-image equals self-control. And our research shows the only time you stop working towards your goals is when you become immobilized. When you become immobilized, what happens to us? Well, we lose confidence. And confidence is what needed in business. Confidence, right? You must be confident. Next, application of tools. You must use the tools. Like, for instance, whatever your business is, make sure you're using your tools, your company's tools, your tools of sales, your tools of time management, your tools of organization, your tools of managing your territory, your tools of all of these different things, right? And becoming a PPS, a professional problem solver. You know, your goal is to keep learning about your craft. So when people have questions, you're able to answer them. If you don't, then you have to go research it, which is okay too. Nobody has all the answers. But I want you to be a PPS, a professional problem solver. And then you got to take action. Goals, all of this is worthless without taking action. So you got to take massive and immediate action. So I want you to move, because a lot of entrepreneurs have developed this disease. We call it ascites. They've been sitting on those things so long, they stop moving. So we got to move, guys. Got to move. So let's move on. Take action now, today. So I want you to move today. I want you to move today. I want you to prospect. I want you to call your referrals. I want you to call your existing clients. I want you to go out and talk to people. I want you to network. I want you to build activity, because if you build activity, you're going to get results, okay? Next, I want you to have a purpose. Think about your purpose. Purpose. What's your purpose? Why do you get up in the morning? My purpose is to help you guys. You know, I'm and my mentees and my speeches and my kids. You can have more than one purpose, right? So I have multiple purposes, but today is to help you. So my goal for this is to help you. So my purpose right now is to help you. But I have other purposes, like my children, Maxwell and Alexandra. My purpose is to make them and help them become good, and they are good kids, but I want them to become successful adults. And success is not all money, guys. Success, number one, is spirituality. Number two is health. To get rich and sick is stupid. Number three is to be happy most of the time. And number four is money. Got to have money, because money lets you do the things you need to do. Like I was able to send my kids to private schools, the best private schools in the country. I was able to send them to college without debt. You know what it's like not to have debt? I mean, I have a brother who has so much debt. He's 60 years old and he's still paying off his debts from college. It's a blessing to put your kids through school, or grandkids, and they have no debt, right? So that's important. Next, work to learn, don't work for money. Work to learn, don't work for money. I got that from one of my mentors. And you learn, but don't work for money. Because if someone takes your money away, if you know what to do, you will earn it right back. You've seen many people who create fortunes and lose it and never come back. But then you can see people that create fortunes lose it and they come back stronger than ever. Why? They work to learn and they learn what they needed to do if it went bad. Okay. Next, I told you, get all the tools you need to be a PPS, a professional problem solver. Get all the tools you need. Very important. And then here we go. Master the power to influence and persuasion. You know, most of you have investigative selling and my negotiation skills books. You really need to focus on sales, right? Remember, we are first and foremost in the people business, right? So if we are first and foremost in the people business, we have to master the power to influence and persuade, investigative selling, and negotiation skills. So here are the steps that you have to master. Pre-plan and prepare. I covered a little bit of that before. Pre-plan your day, prepare your day. Next, know your competitors. What are they selling? What are they offering? Next, make sure that you know your presentation. Practice it until you know it. You don't need to look at your notes or your PowerPoint. All right. Number 3, make sure you know how to read customers, different personality types. They're in the programs. Study it, right? There's a relator, socializer, thinker, and you know, all these different personalities. Learn about them. Learn about them, right? Next, prospecting. Fill your funnel. Learn what you need to know. Look, there's 5 areas of prospecting that I mastered. Number 1, marketing, branding yourself. How do you brand yourself? What makes you so special? What separates you from everybody else? Number 2, what is your unique selling proposition? What makes you so special? What's your unique selling proposition? Number 2, get out there, talk to people, face-to-face prospecting, right? Next, referrals. Get referrals from people, even if they don't buy. After that, make sure that you social media is important. Work on your social media. Work on your social media and get out there. And don't forget about your warm market, right? So again, follow those steps and you'll be successful. But you can't be successful, as Jim Rohn said, it's hard to find a rich hermit. He would say that. Because, you know, if you're a hermit at home, you're not talking to people. But make sure you're out there branding, face-to-face, using the telephone is another one. All right. Networking, getting referrals, working on your warm market. Fill your funnel. Fill your funnel. Fill your funnel, please. Okay. Next, build rapport. Learn to build relationships. When 2 people meet, the person that has more passion, more congruency, more belief in what they do is going to engage, enroll, and compel that person to buy your ideas, to buy your products and services. So learn to build rapport. How do I do it? I care about people and I ask great questions. The better the question, the better the answer. Learn, all of you should have at least 5 great questions. Now I'll take you through the acronym my mentor Tom Hopkins taught me. We would take the word needs and misspell it, N-E-A-D-S, and we would ask people to build rapport. Hey, what are you using now? What are you using now? Well, you know, let's say I'll do something most of you probably don't do. Let's say I'm a car salesperson and they walk in and I said, well, what are you driving now? Well, I'm driving an SUV. Okay. Well, past predicts future. So if they're driving an SUV, they're probably going to buy another SUV, unless they had the little divorce, they didn't want the sports car, right? So past predicts future. What are you driving now? SUV. What do you like about it? Oh, I like the space. What don't you like? So the N is, what do you have now? What do you enjoy about what you have now? The A is, what would you like to alter or change? And they say, you know, I'd like the car that's more economical. It gets better mileage. Okay, so now you know what they have now. What do they enjoy about it? What do they like to change or alter? The D is, are you the decision maker? Can I ask you a question? Other than yourself, who's involved in making the final decision? Oh no, it's my decision. Great. So now you have the NEAD, and the S is we come up with a solution. So now we find them an automobile that's the same size or bigger, and it gets better mileage, and now they're happy and they drive off. Now, whatever I use that because I don't think I have any car people. So I wanted you to have something that nobody has. So all of you use the acronym NEEDS. What do you have now? What do you enjoy about what you have now? What would you like to alter, change about what you have now? Who's the decision maker and come up with the solution, right? Next, qualification. Qualify people. Find out timeframes, budgets, needs, wants, right? Values. People don't realize that a lot of people buy values. Like people like themselves. So if you show them the values, that your values are like that, you have integrity, that you're on time, that you follow up and follow through, that you care about people, you'll be able to qualify people better, right? Values. Handling concerns. You know, the way I build a presentation and I handle concerns is I always put them into my presentation. So what I do is I find out what they need, and then I talk about my products or services features. I tell them all about the features. I give them tons of reasons, which is the benefits, and then I give them the results, what it will do for them. And if you build that up in your presentation, then at the end, you know what they want, don't want, what their concerns are, and what objections you're going to have to overcome. Does that make sense? So it's very important that you use that features, benefits, results model that I teach. Features, give them tons of features. Benefits, tons of reasons to buy. And then results, what makes your product or service so special? Or you, right? And that's how you handle concerns. Next, closing the sale. Guys, I've done like 5 speeches already this year. At every talk I talked, I spoke to people, and people at the Q&A, these big conventions, I did a Q&A. They put me up on a stage, and people were saying, I don't like closing people. And I said, guys, ladies and gentlemen, I look at closing different. I'm in the top 5 in the world for platform sales. Why? I look at closing different. It's how you look at it. Closing to me, well, let's talk about it. If you don't close someone, if you get up there and sell your product or service and you don't close them, or you speak and you don't close them on your package or your mentoring or coaching, well, if you don't close them, you just stopped the relationship. So when I believe in, when I close, I'm opening up the relationship. If I don't close them, they're not going to continue to work with me. So you have to look at closing as really, they really should call it opening, because when I close, I'm really opening up the relationship with the person. And I believe in what I do. I believe I have great products. I have 44 audios, videos. I have 26 best-selling books. I speak all around the world on my books. And I believe that my material really works because it works for me. It works for my students. I know it'll work for you. So why would I want someone else to buy somebody else's materials? So my goal is to get you to say yes to me, whether it's my libraries, my audios, my mentoring, my coaching, whatever it is. That's my goal. Because when I close you, I open the relationship. Look at it that way. Next, get quality referrals. How do you do that? Under promise and over deliver. Every time, you've heard it before, every time you sell someone anything, your ideas, your products or services, under promise and over deliver. Under promise, over deliver. That's how you get referrals, you know? And of course, You need to create systems. If you get really busy, and I've seen it before, if you get really busy, most people, they clog up their system. And when they clog up their system, they stop prospecting or they stop selling people. And what happens is, because they're trying to close stuff, they stop creating momentum. I see it all the time. How many have ever seen someone, they were really first quarter, and then after that, they drop? And you know why? Because they were so focused on that first 90 days. And I'm giving you guys a 90-day challenge today. I want you guys to give it everything you got for 90 days. Why? Because by then you'll create the habits of successful men and women in a successful year. And I want you to challenge yourself for 90 days. I'm doing it to myself, by the way. I'm challenging myself for 90 days. So I want you guys to really work on systems and stay positive and have enthusiasm. You know, I love the 4 last letters of enthusiasm. I am sold myself. Look at that. I am sold myself. Those are the last 4 words of enthusiasm. Did you know if you take the word attitude and you put a number to each letter, like A is 1, and you go to the end, it equals 100%. So give your attitude 100%, give enthusiasm, and give systems. Get systems. Next, I'm going to give you another thing you need to do. All of you need to network more. This is the time to network more. So I'm going to give you my top, we did this research for a book that I wrote, my top networking questions to ask when you go to the chamber, BNI, networking, real estate investment clubs, anything like that. Here are the 7 best. Ready? Number 1, how did you get started in business? People love to talk how they got started in business. Now, you should craft a 3-minute to 5-minute conversation so you can move on to other people. Here's what I recommend. I go to networkings and I get there early. I get there an hour early. And why? Because I want to talk to people before they go in. Why? Because most people are running out at the end. Yes or no, right? Yes. So if you go an hour early or 30 minutes early, you can take and spend 3 minutes with each person, get their business card or their information, and then put something on the card or on the information. Now they got these phones, you just go click and everything pops over to your phone. And if you put down, she had beautiful blue eyes. He was wearing a red tie. She had really a great blazer. He had really nice gray hair, whatever. Something, because when you get home and you got 30 business cards, you go, and you look at your thing, oh, shucks, who was that? And you forget. So what I do is I identify one thing of that person that I liked, and that reminds me of who they are. And then I put it into my contact system, right? So how'd you get started in business? People love to talk about how they got started, okay? You know, it's funny. A lot of times people think it's my event because I'm there first. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm just visiting, you know. Number 2, what do you enjoy most about what you do? Well, people start talking about what they do. They love to talk about what they enjoy most. But if, say you're recruiting people, say you're in network marketing, or you're in some of the companies that I train, like World Financial Group or PHP or AXA or, you know, EXP or any of these companies. What if you're a recruiter, right? Well, if you ask them, what do you enjoy most about what you do? They go, well, you know, it's really a job. I really don't like it. Bam, there you go. Bingo. You just got yourself a conversation to recruit them. Well, what don't you like about your job? You know, it's the hours. You know, I'll tell you a little story. I was just at BMW. My son has a BMW. And we went in, and the young lady was very nice. And we sat down at her desk to tell her what's wrong with his car. And I go, wow, I'm surprised you guys are open on it was the 2nd of January, because most places used it as the 1st of the year. And she goes, oh yeah, we're open 6 days a week. In fact, I was talking to my husband about getting a new job. And I'm thinking, bingo, if I worked for a company that's net recruiting people, I would say, she's got a great personality. She dresses professional. She speaks well. She'd be a perfect candidate for my company. So that would be a good conversation to start. Next, what separates your company from your competition? Oh, people love to talk about how they are different. What is your unique selling proposition? Why are you so different? Why do you do so well? So that's a good one. What advice would you give someone just getting started in your business? Say you walk in and they're a realtor and you're getting into real estate, or you're in medical sales and they're in medical sales, or you're not in their business, but you might consider being in their business. What advice would you give someone getting started in your business, right? How about this one? What do you see as the coming trends in your business? Like, this is a great conversation. I was at the chamber meeting here in Boca Raton, and you can talk all day with realtors and mortgage people on this one. I mean, they are like all over what the coming trends are for mortgage, interest rates, packages are having, even automobile sales. What kind of packages are you guys having? So what do you see as the coming trends in your business, right? We all know about the chip. There's no chip, so there's no cars, that kind of thing. Next, what ways have you found to be most effective promoting your business? Oh, that's a good one, especially for those of you that are selling any kind of marketing, social media, funnels, branding. That's a great one to lead in for you, right? And number 7 is my favorite. What one sentence would you like people to use in describing the way you do business? And I do that all the time. And I just used that at the chamber meeting, and the woman says, we care about people. I love that. The other gentleman said, integrity. My company's built on integrity. I love that. See? And that gets them to get you to talk. Ask them about them. And then you have to have your 3-minute or 5-minute presentation to talk about yourself. Get involved with them, ask them a lot of questions, and ask leading questions that will get you to talk about your product, service, or ideas. Next, I want to give you another thing that you have to work on. You're going to get hit with negativity, right? Every day. So I'm going to give you 7 ways. I have 101 ways to handle rejection and failure. But I'm going to give you 7 steps to fight negative influences. Number 1, expect it. Expect rejection, right? Get the you out of failure. Don't take it personal. Learn to fail forward faster. Learn to fail forward faster, right? Get the you out of failure. Don't take it personal. They're not saying no to you. They're saying no to your offering. And most of you go to your relatives first. So now you take it personal. Don't do that. Just remember, they're saying no to your offering. Next, change something. If something's not working, maybe a phrase or something, or where you're prospecting, stop doing that. Make an adjustment. Change something. Try something new. Next, invest in yourself. All of you here have my library. If you're not using it, I can't help you. You need to use my materials. They work. They work for me. They work for my students. And I know it'll work for you. I'm not selling it to you. You already have it. So please listen to, watch, and read motivational learning materials. Or I love music too. Like when I walk 10,000 steps a day. I listen to uplifting music. I love to listen to music. And so I listen to music, keeps me going, right? Right? Next, talk to positive people. Go to join networking groups that are positive, people that are inspired. Go to inspired, go to places that people are inspired. Hang around eagles, not sparrows. Don't hang around the quicksand crowd. The quicksand crowd is not going to help you. If you're in the business and people are giving you doom and gloom, walk away from them. You don't need them, right? And if you have to happen to live with them, I'm sorry for you. You got to block them out. Block them out. Put on your headsets. All of you should be listening to materials at least 15 to 20 minutes a day. I listened this morning to Earl Nightingale, The Strangest Secret. It's 18 minutes long. You become what you think about most. The thoughts are things, you become what you think about most. Tomorrow I'm going to listen to Zig Ziglar, right? Next day I'm going to listen to Bob Proctor, Born Rich. The next day I'm going to listen to Les Brown, You Got to Be Hungry. These are all my friends and mentors. And, you know, I listen to myself sometimes. Every time I go to do a speech, I'll listen to that topic before I go speak on that topic, because I want to hear what I said just to refresh me, right? So really important. Next, manage your mental input. Consciously avoid putting yourself down. Look, we're human. We screw up. Use positive affirmations, self-talk, meditation. Guys, if it doesn't serve you, don't say it, don't own it, don't think it. I'm working harder on that myself. You know, people think just because you're rich that you don't have problems. We have different problems, right? And we have problems too. You know, I lost my beautiful wife of, you know, since she was 19, she was 46, 5 years ago. You know, I just lost my dad December 30th. You know, my mom's 95. She looks like she's going now. We all have problems, you know, it's not easy. And you know, you got problems with people around you that are greedy, and you got to be careful. So focus on what you want, not what you don't want, but it's not easy. And don't beat yourself up if you're down. You know, do stuff that's going to help you, like this. Be careful what you eat. When you're stressed out, eat light and eat healthy. Eat light and eat healthy. Eat more smaller meals. You got to watch yourself. It takes a lot of energy to be an entrepreneur. And if you're dealing with negativity or stress or illness or family issues or people dying on you like I am, you got to eat light. Like I'm eating lighter than ever. You know, I'm eating healthier than ever. And I'm practicing everything I teach. Thank God I was mentored by these wonderful men and women that feed me all this stuff. And I wrote all this great stuff. And I'm every day listening to it because I need it too. I need it too, you know? So it's very important. Next, I want you to think about moving your body. You know, now that I don't own a health club, I can tell you, you don't have to be a member, have a membership, but it's nice to have. I still have them. I have memberships. I have memberships at, you know, Lifetime, LA Fitness, downstairs, but where I live. But it's important that you move your body. Now, look, if you can't work out, swim. Swimming is good workout. If you can't, if you have aches, go for a walk. Go for a walk, a nice stroll. You know, I walk 10,000 steps every day. I love walking. Walking is fun for me. I put on some music and it just releases everything. I go for a nice walk. You know, it's good for you. Now, if you're in the cold, like I used to be in Chicago, get on a treadmill or you know, a bike or you know, one of those gazelles, something, anything. Just move your body. Get rid of the, you know, release the endorphins so you can do all that stuff. And of course, I want to see, I'm looking for 2 more people. I just signed up somebody, looking for 2 more people to mentor with me. If you are interested in mentoring with me, email us at info@omarperiu.com and Danny will send you a questionnaire, and then I will do a one-on-one with you, like 30 minutes. Remember, it's not free. So don't think it's free. It's affordable. I make it very affordable, but it's not free. So, you know, if you can't afford anything, like I had a person call me up last week and we did this whole thing and I don't even know why they called me. They, you know, but I did give them some good advice for 30 minutes for free, which is nice. But please, you know, remember, you got to have skin in the game. Not a lot. I do it for very reasonable, but you have to have skin in the game to win. So with that, I'm looking for 2 people to go to info@omarperiu.com. We'll send you the application. And then Danny will set up an appointment with me and we will talk and see if we're a good fit. We have to be a good fit. Not everybody's a good fit, right? I had a gentleman come in and he said, here's 3 times the money that you want, and I want you to make me a millionaire in 1 month. I'm like, here's your money. Thank you very much. That's not how it works. You know, if it was true that I could do that, there'd be a line from here to California, from Boca Raton to California for me to do it. No, it's a process. And you gotta take, it takes time. You gotta enjoy the process. Can I make somebody a millionaire in 3 to 5 years? Yeah, yeah. Oh, if they're from start. Now, if they're going already, sooner, but I don't expect a month. That's crazy. If that's true, I'd have a million people chasing me around right now, but it doesn't work that way. So I'm going to take some questions, but before we do, Danny, could you do the count off? Close it off, the recording.